The Boeing Starliner was supposed to be a game-changer, a spacecraft designed to compete head-to-head with SpaceX's Crew Dragon and provide NASA with a reliable alternative for ferrying astronauts to the International Space Station. But instead of cementing Boeing's legacy in space travel, the project has been plagued by delays, technical failures, and mounting skepticism. With each passing year, the question becomes harder to ignore. Does the Starliner still have a future? Or is it already a lost cause? Billions of dollars have been poured into its development, yet critical issues keep surfacing. Software glitches, hardware malfunctions, and a series of postponements have made many wonder whether the spacecraft will ever complete a successful crewed mission. Meanwhile, SpaceX has already completed multiple operational flights, making the gap between the two programs more apparent than ever. But is the Starliner truly doomed? Or is there still hope for redemption? Today, we're going to break down the facts, analyze what went wrong, and explore the possible outcomes for Boeing's troubled spacecraft. The answers may surprise you. When NASA retired the Space Shuttle program in 2011, the United States lost its ability to launch astronauts from American soil. For nearly a decade, the agency relied on Russian Soyuz spacecraft to transport crew members to the International Space Station, an expensive and politically complicated solution. To regain independent access to space, NASA launched the Commercial Crew Program, selecting two private companies to develop new crewed spacecraft: SpaceX with its Crew Dragon and Boeing with the CST-100 Starliner. The goal was to create two reliable transportation systems, reducing reliance on foreign space agencies and fostering competition in the commercial spaceflight industry. For Boeing, the contract was an opportunity to reaffirm its dominance in aerospace. The company had decades of experience in aviation and space technology, with contributions to the Apollo program, the Space Shuttle, and the ISS. Given its reputation, many assumed Boeing would deliver a dependable, cutting-edge spacecraft ahead of schedule. But instead of leading the way, Starliner stumbled. What was meant to be a major success story quickly turned into one of NASA's biggest headaches. For a spacecraft designed to ensure America's independent access to space, the Starliner has faced an alarming number of technical and logistical setbacks. While development delays are common in aerospace, Boeing's struggles have raised serious concerns about the reliability of its spacecraft. One of the most infamous failures occurred in December 2019. During the Orbital Flight Test 1, an uncrewed mission meant to demonstrate Starliner ability to dock with the ISS. A software error caused the spacecraft's internal clock to be off by 11 hours, leading to a critical failure in its engine burns. Instead of reaching the ISS, Starliner was stranded in the wrong orbit, forcing NASA and Boeing to abort the mission. A later investigation revealed over 80 software issues, raising red flags about Boeing's quality control. Then, in August 2021, Starliner's second uncrewed test flight was abruptly postponed. Engineers discovered that 13 propulsion valves were stuck shut, preventing the spacecraft from launching. After months of troubleshooting, the problem was traced back to moisture seeping into the propulsion system and causing corrosion, a fundamental design oversight that further delayed the program. Meanwhile, SpaceX's Crew Dragon had already completed multiple successful crewed missions, proving its reliability and securing NASA's confidence. The contrast between the two programs became stark. While SpaceX was breaking new ground, Boeing was struggling just to get Starliner off the launch pad. With trust in the spacecraft dwindling, a critical question emerged. Does NASA still believe in Starliner, or is its patience running out? NASA has always relied on redundancy when it comes to spaceflight. The entire premise of the Commercial Crew Program was to have two independent spacecraft capable of ferrying astronauts to and from the ISS, ensuring that if one faced issues, the other could step in. But as the years passed, it became clear that Boeing's Starliner was struggling to keep up with SpaceX's Crew Dragon. Despite the numerous delays and technical failures, NASA has not abandoned Starliner, at least not yet. The agency continues to support the program financially, approving additional test flights and working closely with Boeing to resolve outstanding issues. However, it's evident that confidence in the project has been shaken. One sign of NASA's waning patience is its increasing dependence on SpaceX. Originally, the agency planned to alternate between Crew Dragon and Starliner for crewed missions. But with Boeing falling behind schedule, NASA extended its contract with SpaceX, securing additional Crew Dragon flights to ensure continuous access to the ISS. This move signals that NASA is preparing for a scenario where Starliner might never reach full operational status. Internally, NASA officials have expressed frustration with Boeing's missteps. Delays, cost overruns, and technical failures have raised concerns not just about Starliner, but about Boeing's overall ability to deliver reliable space systems. The company struggles with the Space Launch System, SLS, another NASA-funded project, further reinforced doubts about its future in human spaceflight. With SpaceX proving itself as a dependable alternative, a difficult question looms. Will NASA continue investing in Starliner, or will it eventually cut its losses? With every delay and technical failure, the future of the Starliner becomes more uncertain. Boeing insists that the spacecraft is still on track to complete its first crewed mission, but skepticism is growing. Can the company fix its mistakes and prove that Starliner is a viable alternative to SpaceX's Crew Dragon? One possible scenario is that Starliner finally succeeds. Boeing is currently preparing for the Crew Flight Test, CFT, which will carry astronauts to the ISS for the first time. If this mission goes smoothly, it could restore confidence in the program and allow Starliner to begin regular crew rotations alongside Crew Dragon. However, the years of setbacks mean that even a successful test flight won't immediately erase doubts about Starliner's reliability. On the other hand, there's a chance that Starliner never recovers. If the crewed test flight encounters more serious issues, or worse, if a failure endangers astronauts, NASA could be forced to abandon the program altogether. The agency has already secured more SpaceX flights as a backup plan. And if Boeing fails to deliver, Starliner could end up as another expensive project that never reaches its full potential. Even if Boeing does manage to get Starliner operational, its long-term future is questionable. The spacecraft was designed primarily for low Earth orbit missions, but NASA's focus is shifting toward deep space exploration with projects like Artemis and the Lunar Gateway. SpaceX's Starship and other next-generation vehicles are being developed for more ambitious missions, which could make Starliner obsolete before it ever reaches full service. So, is Starliner truly Boeing's comeback story, or just a failed experiment? The next few months will be critical in determining its fate. The Boeing Starliner was once seen as a cornerstone of NASA's plans for the future of human spaceflight. But after years of setbacks, it has become a symbol of the challenges faced by legacy aerospace companies in a rapidly evolving industry. While SpaceX's Crew Dragon has already proven its reliability, Starliner is still struggling to complete its first crewed mission. Despite the delays and technical failures, Starliner is not entirely out of the race, yet. Boeing still has a chance to turn things around, but the window of opportunity is closing fast. If the upcoming crew flight test is a success, Starliner could finally fulfill its intended role as NASA's second commercial crew vehicle. However, another failure could mean the end of the program, leaving SpaceX as the sole provider of crewed missions to the ISS. With NASA shifting its focus toward the Moon and Mars, the question remains, does Starliner have a place in the future of space exploration? Or is it destined to be a costly lesson in aerospace history? What do you think? Should NASA continue investing in Boeing's spacecraft, or should it place its full trust in SpaceX? Let us know in the comments. And if you want to stay updated on the latest breakthroughs and challenges in space exploration, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because the next big discovery could be just around the corner.